And oh my god, this is innovation at its finest. A view from the hazards, newly on YouTube. We're back again, episode 7. Ben, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Oh my god, all the better for producing some warm, positive content on social media. We're back again.
Just think of the smiles we're going to bring to people's faces who are locked away, and now they get to hear us badger on about rubbish for half an hour.
Honestly, I feel like our listenership is, it's massive actually. So, going to be very popular actually, very popular indeed.
Great news with the YouTube channel.
I agree.
Much easier for everybody to find. A view from the hazards. Search for it in YouTube. Channel done. Subscribe. You're in.
Completely agree. I'm just trying to turn the sound off my face. Doesn't matter. Right. Well, I mean, how are you? What have you been up to? In quarantine.
So today, I've been making sure I get a workout in. I've been trying to work on my flexibility, so I'm trying to stretch as much as I can. I actually had Lewis Gordon on a FaceTime video chat earlier for a workout.
Did you?
He's in a world of trouble now, apparently.
He's in a world of trouble. How so? Why is he in a world of trouble?
Well, I think the workout hurt him a little bit.
So, oh right. Oh, I thought you were talking like financially.
No. He's in a little bit of muscular trouble, and then I came in and played a bit of Oh Hell online with Darren and Craig. So
that's nice.
So I'm being very interactive.
That's good. That's nice.
What about you? Just churning out the chin-ups and the press-ups?
Well, I was a bit naughty today. I went to me and my mate who doesn't live with me, so that's not really isolating. But we both met at a mutually agreed location, broke into a local AstroTurf and did some gym stuff. Obviously, keeping 2 meters apart at all times. Definitely not touching the same weights. Not. But it's alright. I've probably seen him. I've probably seen him the last 5 days. So if I've got anything, he's got it. And then went home, did some work. I got some pretty big news because uni exams are pretty much getting cancelled. So I was like, my head was a mess. I was like, wow. Fair enough, but I mean,
I was talking to one of my members who's a student about that, and he was kind of saying like, if they get cancelled, or I was like, would you just have to do them online, or I mean, everyone can just cheat, right? Or do you just postpone them? I don't really. I'm like, well, you tell me what happens.
So yeah, obviously with online exams, it's basically not like who's the cleverest. It's just who can cheat best or who's got the best resources. So it's not really an exam. So I think the unis have clocked this and they're like, well, obviously it's just unsustainable. They're going to assess you in a different way, I think, by doing like longer pieces perhaps. But yeah, online exams just an absolute farce. Like it's just not legit.
Would they give you a kind of finishing grade? Obviously, it sucks, but would they give you a finishing grade kind of based on like what you've done over the last few years? Like, would they basically kind of analyse your performance, as it were, in the last few years, and then kind of come up with a pass or like a grade for you?
Tell you what, Ben, you should retire from real tennis and start working in education because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to take what you've done in first year, second year, my case third year, and basically model it according to what you've already done this year as well to get you a grade. They don't want you to have to do exams, which is obviously completely legit. Definitely shouldn't want to, but maybe a career in academia is one for you, Ben. So we'll see.
Well, if all the real tennis clubs close down, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. You'll be performance director at the University of Birmingham. I'll put you forward.
Thanks, mate.
Well, are we talking about real tennis today, or what?
I think we probably should, shouldn't we?
Yeah, just a little bit. Do you got a topic? Have we got a topic in mind? I can't even remember.
Well, yeah. So it occurred to me that when we did the podcast about like training and getting better and stuff like that, we got quite a lot of good feedback on that. And,
yeah, we did.
We obviously don't want to sit here and just basically turn it into like a coaching podcast because what do we know at the end of the day? It's only our opinion. But I figured I think that was like 2 or 3 podcasts ago, so I thought it might be quite good to get involved in something along those lines. So I was thinking about talking about like with the whole isolation thing at the moment, it got me thinking about what people do on their own and stuff, and I was thinking about like solo practice.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else other than real tennis, but but yeah, no, that is actually pretty cool. Actually, solo practice. There's a lot to go off. Actually, there's a lot of solo practices.
Well, the thing is, like, you can do so. I think the big thing is people think it's like pretty boring, and they also probably aren't or don't think that there's not that much they can do. Do you know what I mean?
Agree. You can definitely do a lot.
You can practice anything apart from volleys.
Agree.
It's literally like absolutely anything. And what's the I never get this right. You know the Matthew Said book, the guy who did
It's called it's called Bounce.
It's called Bounce. It's either 10,000 repetitions or 10,000 hours, right? I don't know
10,000 hours. 10,000 hours.
Right. So if I chucked somebody on court right now and said, right, chuck some balls around the corner and try and hit some grills. Here's 100. Let's say, well, I imagine for a start, the first 20 throws would be absolutely laughable.
Yeah.
And then, the grill count would be low. And obviously, if they did that, I don't know, if they did that 3 times a day or whatever, obviously they'd get better for doing it, right?
Well, it'd be weird if they got worse.
Well, it would certainly be weird if they got worse. So I'm like, if you want to practice, it just goes back to like the getting better thing, doesn't it? If you've got something you want to work on, repetition and stuff is going to be crucial for that. So obviously, like upscaling it slightly. When we started practicing again a few weeks ago, and may I say, we were in like full flow. And
oh my god,
on one!
It's so annoying. It's actually so annoying because we were actually getting better. We were actually getting so much better, just focusing on one thing. It was basically like solo practice in a way, just the pure isolation.
It in like a rallying situation, but basically we were like, right, this is what we want to practice. Let's just get out there and do it. And I actually remember like the first basket we did was quite garbage.
Yeah, it's bad.
Because we were trying to figure it all out and stuff, and then every basket after that was better and better. And it just, that's obviously a rallying kind of drill. But anyway, I mean, obviously it goes without saying that having got myself into the top 10, like I've done baskets and hours of really boring stuff. But like, is it something you've ever done?
Yeah, I did loads of solo practice. I remember when I was in Chicago. Obviously, I was living at the club. I never used to have to work on Sundays, so just used to do absolutely loads of it. If ever I could get like half an hour during the day, just used to do just quite basic stuff. Like, almost what I enjoyed doing, which is just hitting galleries, backhands galleries, grills, winning galleries, dead-ons, just like the basic stuff, which makes you sort of feel like you're playing quite well. And then maybe 3-ball drills. Again, we've all done them, but just makes you sort of feel like you're in the groove, I guess. And then
the funny thing is as well is like, I think you can, for people that do want to get out there, and I mean, a lot of people just won't have the discipline to do it. But I remember when I was practicing for my eliminator in 2012, I was practicing with Ricardo, and this was really interesting. We would have like a hit, and then he would feed me like targets at the end of every session. So session 1 was like grills and winning galleries, and then session 2 was dead-ons and cut volleys.
Yeah.
And basically, I was kind of like, okay, so we'll do these practice drills, etc., and then I'll get a basket of grills, a basket of winning galleries. And he was like, no, I'm gonna feed you as many balls as it takes for you to hit 50 grills and 50 winning galleries.
That's a good way of doing it. Yeah, that's a good way
of
doing it.
Such a good way to do it.
Yeah,
because
better.
You can easily go out there and just go, I'll just chuck a basket of balls around the corner and try and hit the grill. But if you're not switched on, you don't learn anything from it. You don't like do anything. So if you actually kind of go out there with a number and go, right, I'm going to hit at whatever level it is, 20 grills or 50 grills or something, every single ball counts. Because I remember doing those exercises, particularly the days when it was like, so for the cut volleys, he just put a basket on the floor and I had to hit it 25 times.
How big was the basket?
It was just it was a ball basket for the balls.
Fair.
And like the forcing, obviously, he's throwing it down the edge of the penthouse and it's hitting the back wall, and then I'm trying to hit a force.
Yeah.
And obviously, with that, as you would know, with the forcing drill that I get used to do, the more you do, the more tired you get, right?
Yeah, you do. It gets a lot harder, but likewise, the more you practice it gradually, the more you'll get in. So it's just
exactly.
Better.
So when I'm knackered at the end of like a 2-hour like charge around, and then I reckon, and he's telling me how many I've hit, and it's like 20 or whatever, and I can see that I can feel I'm getting towards the end of the basket, because I know that each ball counts and every ball that I miss is a wasted ball.
Yeah.
You're kind of thinking to yourself, God, I don't want to have to go and pick up these balls and do it again. I want to finish before the end of this. And it's a good way to like focus the mind and stuff.
Agree.
I think like outside of the box as well, everybody just kind of thinks, oh, I'll just hit some grills, some winning galleries. You can do you can pat onto the back wall, you can like simulate like a missed force on the penthouse, God. You can practice ticklers. How many hours did you spend out on court on that Sunday night trying to hit the cone and winning gallery.
Yeah, when it was that like gold leaf giveaway, I mean, genuinely, I was hungover and I thought, go on, this is one productive thing I can do today. And it took me 2 hours to just do that backhand winning gallery tickler and forehand one. Oh my god, I wanted to kill myself by the end. I was like, what are you doing? I was just screaming at the end. I was that happy. But I think for me with practice, one thing I've learned is actually practicing what you're actually going to do in a game. So let's say you can hit forces and hit them like as hard as you want when you're rolling it around the corner, but realistically, if you're going to do that in a match and miss every single time, you might as well at least sort of hit it at a realistic pace, if you see what I mean. Do you see where I'm coming from here?
Yeah, completely. It's exactly the same thing. Like when we do the forcing drill or whatever, I basically say to you, like, if it goes down, if it goes in that middle third, if I don't deem it to be fast enough, it shouldn't count.
Yeah.
Because we obviously we're talking at like an advanced level, but like when I'm practicing, I probably spray a few more round than you, but when mine go in, I basically don't hit them in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to, even though the dead on is obviously very big, I'm aiming for like a small window of it, and that's exactly what you're doing and stuff. And
agree.
It happens at kind of every level and stuff. But as you said, making it relevant, even if you're just patting balls like under the grill and trying to hit galleries and stuff.
Yeah. As well,
and that's what the giveaways are actually really, really good for, because it's a good way to obviously engage with people and get people involved and stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody who like goes and takes part in that goes on court and practices. Even if they're doing some kind of silly thing where it's like, I'm not trying to hit a backhand down the line into the corner of the dead on and hit a cone. That's a very good skill to have if you can practice it, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think with other stuff, I've heard a few anecdotes about solo practice. So I remember Roman Krasnaric actually saying to me, Spike Wilcox basically before every season used to invent one shot, and he said, this is going to be my shot this season. And he used to like solo practice it. Obviously,
love that.
Was going to be something like ridiculously flair, whether it was like some, I don't know, some backhand down the line winner. I can't even think of one. But like it was just he was going to have one shot and he was going to practice it for a season. And obviously, if you do it for a whole season, maybe it just becomes one of your shots.
Apparently, Spike Wilcox used to return railroads on the volley and like railroad them back down the line. Sometimes they go straight into the galleries.
That's just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I won't be doing that.
Like, how are you gonna? How do you defend that?
Yeah, you don't. Second gallery, mate. I'll beat it.
Well, you'd be at the service end thinking, right, perfect. I'll chip a couple of hazards here because I've got two bankers on the return reserve.
I know, honestly. And what else? Rob Fay said to me actually, when I went down for a session at Preston, he said, if you practice the 1% shot enough times, it becomes the 100% shot. And I thought that's got to be true, actually, because we're all like, oh, we're rubbish at this, but it's like, well, yeah, it's a 2% shot at the moment, but have you practiced it enough for it to be anything more?
Well, that's just it. I think it's also just like, it's difficult in real tennis because it's a smaller sport as well. So if you're doing like lawn tennis and you're practicing something you're not very good at, it's obviously frustrating.
Yeah.
But if you're in lawn tennis and you've got a coach that's telling you that's what you're doing, it's just tough. You're just doing it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you've got to be a bit more mentally disciplined in real tennis to say, right, I'm not very good at this, or this is an area I want to either want to improve or just a shot that I want to have in my arsenal. You've got to get out there and tell yourself to do it.
It doesn't just happen.
And even when it's going badly, you've just got to keep kind of saying to yourself, right, let's do it. And like you said, and as Rob said to you, if that's what he said.
Yeah, she did.
It's a 1% shot because it's something you don't practice. How do you increase your percentages? Hit more of them.
Exactly.
Simple. What's your favourite solo practice drill?
My favourite solo practice drill would have to be it'd be a 3-ball drill above the grill. So patting balls above the grill in a penthouse. Second gallery with the first ball, like trying to beat like chase 2 with the second, and then like trying to hit a length, so floor sidewall, like 2 bounces before the back wall. I do a 3-ball drill.
It's a very good drill.
That's what I do a lot of. But obviously, the better you get, you don't get many balls above there, so you got to take your chance, really. So that's what I think is a decent one.
What you can do is you can then you can make that a little bit more advanced, like immediately, by instead of like patting it up above the grill on the penthouse, you can then just pat floor back wall. So it's a slightly more difficult ball.
Yeah.
But it's more realistic, and then obviously you then kind of take a step back in terms of quality.
Yeah.
But then you build it back up again, and that's where I think people get bored with it. Count the numbers, have a different kind of thing. Like if you're doing gallery drills, what I quite like to do with people is say, right, you're starting at first gallery. The moment you hit first, you go to the door. It centers the like. Well, I hate using the word focus, but
focus.
Exactly. It makes you concentrate on something. And
it
the
does,
same thing with like if you're practicing your dead-ons or whatever, we can all just slap it at that big post box and hope for the best. But I remember doing a drill with Rob years ago, and it was like, right, you're throwing the ball around the corner, you've got to hit the main wall, and then once you hit the main wall, you go to the like cross court into the right-hander's forehand corner, and then down the line. And once you've done all three, that constitutes like one set. And then you've got to try and see like how many times you can do a set without missing. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, I agree.
There's always a way to figure it out. And something that people don't really do is serving as well.
Mate, are you eating a packet of crisps?
No.
What's that like rustling?
Oh, I'm lying down on a bed.
Oh fuck! I thought I could just hear like a chocolate wrapper.
I wish.
Fair enough. Yeah, serving. Honestly, yeah. I hate it so much. I just hate practicing serving. Probably why it's quite bad in my game. But yeah,
I think the thing with serving though is that like it's very difficult until you've got someone trying to murder it to know whether it's good or bad.
I think railroad's quite fun. I think practicing a railroad's quite fun. But if you're hitting like demi PKs, it's generally you've got no idea if it's any good or not. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You've
got someone there trying to crush it, you're just like, that looks quite good.
Agreed. That's probably why actually practicing serving is difficult, because let's say a certain serve to one person is good in the game. Like, there's no recipe for like, yeah, that's a great serve against everyone. I mean,
yeah, exactly, and also the court.
Agree, yeah. I think that's why practicing serving is difficult. With a railroad, you can always sort of think, yeah, that's going to be a decent ball. Obviously, they might volley it in theory, but you'd rather they volleyed it than like you put one halfway up the back wall, which I think is a good thing.
Well, here we go. How many do you ever serve railroads in a match now?
Yeah.
Right. And when you turned up at Leamington, you physically couldn't serve a railroad to start with.
No.
And then even when you started to develop it, you still didn't bring it out in matches.
Well, yeah, it was just terrible.
Practiced it enough that you're like, I can bring this out.
I think
you've got enough faith that it's not going to be complete dross.
I think it took like something from you to say like, look, mate, like no one in the world doesn't have a railroad, so you're either just gonna have to like find a way. So I was like, yeah, and I think I actually need to take this seriously now. That was this year. Sometimes it takes like a bit of a home truth to make a 1% or a 5% something a bit more.
Well, what's the easiest way to learn?
To actually do it, try it.
Well, yeah, and by failing.
Oh yeah, God, yeah. You can take that. You can take that into a nightclub as well.
Works in all walks of life.
It really does.
But if you get out there and you serve some like deep railroads and they're not working, whatever, you go, right. At least I know how not to serve it. Do you know what I mean?
Agree. And it can only get better. Do you know what I mean? You're not just going to stay the same.
So take that reference.
Oh,
this is probably not era appropriate. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't know about the 90s, mate.
Yeah, that's slightly embarrassing. Should have just kept my mouth shut.
I couldn't name any Take That stuff from the 90s, to be fair. I just can't think of any.
That was a very early one as well. Actually.
Never forget.
Yeah, I think that was after the one I'm on about. The one I'm on about is like early 90s, I think. Jesus, that's not good.
Defo wasn't a Take That reference. But yeah, I'm trying to think of the solo stuff you can do. Ricardo was a great solo practicer, wasn't he? He was like
he used to love it. Well, he worked impressive with Ivan Ronaldson, so you're not getting him out there very often. So
fair.
What was Ricardo very good at? He was very good at like
targets, wasn't it?
He was very good at targets and very good at splat balls because he got out there and practiced it.
Yeah. Well, we'll come on to it later, perhaps with the cyborg. But other great solo practice. Apparently, Wayne Davies. I've read in one of Roman's book about the game. Apparently, Wayne Davies used to like basically at New York practice at like 5 a.m. at 10 p.m. like on his own, just after everyone had left. Like he absolutely lived for it. Lots of great. Cam, obviously, big advocate of solo practice.
Well, if you're living down in, Aiken or whatever, and obviously he's all over the place because he can't last somewhere for more than 6 months. But when he's down in like South Carolina and he's driving down to Aiken, who's he going to hit with?
Good question.
So loads of solo practice. And you've mentioned it before, Howard Angus.
Mate.
Like, as an amateur, used to work all day. And then
he used to work in Northampton every day, and then drive to Queens for like the 7 o'clock practice court and just hit balls all evening. Just practice everything, and do fitness training on his own, mate. That's dedication. Probably why he was really good.
Well, yeah. I mean, in order to be like an amateur world champion, you've got to put in some pretty hard yards at some point.
I bet Snowy never did any solo stuff. I bet he always was with a pro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm only thinking about his style of play here, and I would assume so.
Yeah.
But there might have been some stuff early on when he just chopped balls into the corner. But I can't imagine he ever got out there and did a basket of grills.
No, nor main walls. Maybe
and it doesn't look like he ever practiced to serve in his life. So
practice that one.
Yeah, that's literally what you teach someone in an intro lesson.
I know, yeah. It's flipping out. This is a cyborg.
I love just poking fun at him. Obviously, I mean, I think it just reiterates how good that guy was.
Yeah.
to just go out there and say, do you know what? I'm going to have some garbage one, possibly two bounce sidewall serve, and then you're just going to carve it in the corner, and then it's just game on. I mean, that's what you live for, isn't it?
Honestly, yeah. Just get the ball in play. We'll start. Yeah, beat me. Prove me wrong.
Exactly. Have a crack at my forehand corner. Good luck and getting them all back, and then it's game on from there.
Honestly, yeah. Just give it 6 months. When this is all over, we'll hit a ball again.
Exactly.
You were genuinely like, oh, we'll be able to get in on Leamington. No, mate, can't leave the house. Just if I'm on the motorway, I'm going to work.
Yeah, it's annoying. It is really annoying because personally, obviously, we don't want to be venturing into this topic because it's seriously dull. But I reckon real tennis clubs will be open again very soon because I think they fall under the bracket of sports club, obviously. And sports clubs generally mean mass participation or lots of people around, whereas you can easily isolate the places. So I reckon they'll get a loophole.
Just two people in the club at one time. I mean, I was in Manchester Club last night actually playing racquetball, but that's illegal.
I don't know if it's illegal, but
well, I know. Obviously, you can just open that up with a key. So I mean, it's what it is. But yeah, they've taken all the balls out of there, so they won't really play. But we'll see what happens. I mean, give it 3 weeks. We'll see where we're at.
Yeah.
Anyway,
fingers crossed.
Benno, that's 22 minutes. So should we move on to our next bit? I'm actually looking forward to this.
I'm so excited about this.
So obviously we've done 6 episodes of this. How many have we done? 6 on the cyborg? Yeah, we have, haven't we? No, 5.
No, we didn't do cyborg. I spent all day uploading and trimming and stuff yesterday. So first one was no cyborg.
So we've done 5 cyborg, and this is gonna be the 6th.
So yes, we have server, returner, retriever, backhand and forehand.
Oh my god! Now it's into the fun stuff as well. What makes real tennis unique?
Exactly.
So we're on this week onto targets. Who would you want for targets on your real tennis cyborg? Well, there are so many names out there.
Well, I'll tell you what we should do on that basis, because we could just talk until the cows come home about this, and I can't wait to see how many random names get thrown up there. We should take each target individually, because you have some specialists.
Oh, I like that so much as well. I really like. Yeah, he's a specialist. He's a winning gallery specialist.
Exactly. So obviously, the cyborg person is going to be a very well-rounded target hitter.
Yeah.
But where should we start? Grills.
Grills. Who's Darren? Pumps Grills, mate. He is. When I've done a cut volley drill with him, so obviously hitting difficult cut volley, sort of simulated ones out of the hand. He's gutted when he misses the grill. I'm like, mate, you're not supposed to be going for the grill there.
You're meant to be defending.
Yeah, he nails it. Every backhand, forehand. I've never seen anyone delete a grill as well as him.
What I love about watching Darren play is his caveman attitude. Well, I don't call him a clown for no reason at all.
Yeah.
He's literally real tennis chapter 1, and he's never ventured from it. He's just I'm going to chuck a serve in, and then I'm just going to try and, unless I'm retrieving, I'm going to try and hit the grill with every ball.
Yeah, no, it's a good way of playing, to be fair.
Unless I'm under pressure, I'm just trying to hit the grill with every ball. Because I remember saying to him once, well, have you not realised that, the plus guys, if you miss, it's a little bit loose and then you get punished? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so have you ever thought about kind of taking the grill on when it's a bit more open and maybe consolidating at other times? And he's like, no, I'm still going to try and hit it every
time. Okay, mate.
Okay, man.
No worries, Daz. But he does it a lot of them. He hits so many.
Ricardo Smith, big grill hitter.
Yeah, so I've heard a lot about Ricardo's targets. Who else just loved a grill?
Rob Fay, relentless grill hitter.
Yeah, 100%.
who do I always? I mean, I was thinking like, who do I always feel like just sticks a load of grills past me? I'm trying to think of like, I'm trying to go back a bit as well. But I mean, basically, any time I put the ball in the forehand corner,
Steve from the forehand, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. In fact, I remember going to Philadelphia. It might have been the first year I ever. It might have been my first abroad tournament, went to Philly and walked into the club, and he was practicing with Jed Parsons.
What?
Poor old Jed Parsons.
That's loose.
Literally, I watched like 4 points. They were just playing 11s or something. Steve was at the service end. Like, Steve served, Jed got it back in play, and Steve just wiped the grill. Like, 4 balls in a row, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I don't think I want to watch any of this. But yeah, like, absolutely relentless grill hitter. I'll tell you who never misses a grill.
Go on.
Camden.
Go on. Why?
Because he only ever takes it on when he's never going to miss.
It's probably quite a good attitude, to be fair.
The opposite to Darren Long.
Oh yeah, I know. He's the guy who takes a punt from 25 yards. Cam just slots him away in the 6-yard box. Fair play.
Exactly. Same. Right place, right time. Never misses.
It's not a bad way to play, to be honest. Damage limitation.
Well, yes, it's a pretty safe way to play. That's for sure.
Agree. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, Darren's pretty hot on that. I'm trying to think anyone else on the grill. No one else really comes to mind.
I'm just not like. I mean, obviously there are like some very good grill hitters in the world, but I'm just thinking people like Darren obviously just stand out because
that's all they do.
Because of like compared to their world ranking, let's say, they are extremely good at their grill game stands out.
Yeah, it's mint. Yeah, his grill game is so good.
I'll tell you what. Here's one for you: winning galleries. I can't really think of a serial winning gallery.
I can think of someone who goes for it an awful lot. And he doesn't go for it as much as he used to, but I remember he used to fucking nail it, and that's Ed Kay. He used to go for the winning gallery so much.
Okay.
So much. Like, he just used to wrap round it, and it was like his shot. Like, never used to go anywhere in the grill corner. In fact, it doesn't really. But he just used to nail winning galleries. You know, I think, he'll have to message me, but like, yeah, just used to just bang him in. He hits a lot.
So if you ever go on to like, I mean, it's the least utilised target, obviously. If you ever go to like chase1.co.uk and look at the stats of any featured match that Frosty's put up there, the winning gallery count is always considerably lower than the rest, obviously. So no one really springs to mind as being a huge winning gallery hitter because I don't think it gets used that much anyway. Steve tends to hit a lot of winning galleries from like I've seen to hit more winning galleries like on my backhand than my forehand.
I think backhand winning gallery is actually a lot easier. I think it's a lot easier. It's a lot more natural for me to go inside out on the backhand than it is with the forehand. I feel like because you've got that security of hitting hazard second. Whereas if you miss on your forehand, you're almost certainly going to like hit it with side and miss wide. But yeah, no one really does stand out. I think Rob hits a lot. He's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Tim's going to be very good there as well.
Yeah, Tim like sort of punches him in. He's got quite a nice style of hitting winning galleries, in my opinion. Quite a compact way, just sort of bang, solid hit.
I can't think of any. I mean, obviously we didn't see any of them play or anything, but I can't think of people from like the generation before where. Obviously I worked with Chris Ronaldson. I can't remember. I used to have a lot of conversations with him about players of that era and stuff, and I don't really ever remember him kind of saying like, "Oh yeah, this guy, serial target hitter."
I bet like they sort of put it away when they were up at second gallery and stuff, and it just bounced to the penthouse. I bet that was when they hit winning galleries, where they wouldn't really be taking it on from the back of the court, if you see what I mean.
They're always the ones that get like the biggest cheer from the crowd.
I know, yeah. It's just basic.
The crowd go wild, and you've got like a ball over by the main wall and better than the door, and you're like, yeah, I mean. It's going to be the easiest opportunity I've got all day, and they're like,
that's where the crowd is weird in real tennis because it's hit the bell. Like you do realise that I could hit that ball anywhere. It's the same. Yeah. It's just 15 love. That's 1 point.
Exactly, and then you hit like some backhand like fade down the line into winning gallery that creeps in, and they kind of like gasp like it's lucky or something like that.
Oh my god! Yes.
Why wasn't he trying to hit the turner?
Yeah. What? Oh, yeah. He was going for the hazard. Going for the hazard. Just wanted to force.
That was a miss hit.
But no, winning gallery's hard.
Let's bring it on then.
Go on.
Dead odds.
There's so many lads out there. Ivan Ronaldson apparently pumps a good one. Hits a hard ball.
Relentless. I'll tell you who else. Of the same kind of ilk. Barney Tanfield.
Oh, Barney, yeah, he hits it hard. Probably Rich Smith.
Smokes it.
Rich Smith used to whack it.
Rich Smith used to smoke it. Lewis Gordon smokes it.
Who else?
Dave Woodman.
Woodman, mate. Douglas.
The most relentless dead-on hitter ever.
Douglas, good mate, good on the main wall. He's the best, one of the best main walls I've seen.
I mean, Rob Fay obviously has been doing it for his whole career, but in the last, Rob Fay 2018 World Championship.
Yeah,
oh
a
my
lot.
God.
Mark Devine.
Mark Devine and Kevin Sheldon, not the quickest.
Tell the story. Tell the US Open story.
Oh God. Well, that would have been the same Philadelphia trip.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll contextualise it, because when you told me it, you were like, "Oh yeah, I was playing really well. I'm off like 4. Got this guy called Mark Devine in the first round."
Hang on. This guy, some guy. I knew who he was, but he was living down in Aiken. He hadn't picked up a racket for like 3 years.
Just going for the check.
And his handicap was like officially 1, and I was off about 4. But obviously playing quite a lot.
Yeah,
I was a bit excited about the first tournament abroad and stuff, and I was like, as draws go, and I remember like the draw coming out, and I was like, that's a great draw for me. Like, what an opportunity that is.
Yeah.
And I won the first game, and I was like, all right, I'm feeling quite good here. I lost 1-1. Like 1-1, and the ball, when I was at the service end, it just ended up in the corner of the dead-on at no speed. I couldn't pick which corner it was going at, but it was just in all the time. And then if he missed, it would be a chase. And then I'd go down the other end and just be trying to dig balls like back that were having their second bounce like at the base of the timber. Honestly, it was an absolute lesson.
Fair. And he was just like, sorry, mate. He was probably, I'm off back to Aiken. See you tomorrow.
But he's literally like, mate, I've got a, because he was a lawyer at the time. He's probably like, mate, I've got a 2 o'clock meeting. Can we hurry this thing up a bit?
Yeah, come on, Ben.
I'm trying to get someone a visa.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Done a few of those. Who else? Right, other forces.
Jamie Douglas.
Oh yeah, mega. I think he hit about 30 past me in February, like off the main wall.
We're talking about people that hit the ball hard as well, so that's good.
Agree.
They're the people that
Oh no.
Steve in doubles.
Oh, phew. You just cut out then. I was really worried.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, no.
Chisholm.
Yeah, very good. But right, come on, let's go all round targets.
All right. Well, there's only 2 for me.
Go on.
And it's going to be quite boring. The 2 most relentless target hitters across the board, and I did say this at the end of the last podcast. Yeah. I said we can talk until the cows come home on this.
Yeah.
But the person is going to be someone who is already part of the cyborg. I stand by that. It's going to be Tim Chisholm or Rob Fay.
That's fair.
It just can't not be.
Well, yeah, considering just the percentage. I think if there was a stat,
think about how much better. With all due respect to the guys that they were playing in that era, Tim was better than everybody else.
Yeah.
But he couldn't beat Rob. Like, Tim would have been a world champion in any other era.
Yeah, he would.
And the thing that set those 2 aside were like obscene cut volley and the ability to like hit targets.
Yeah, it wins you games. Fact.
I mean, I was just a bit too new to the game to see it, but I would have loved to have watched those 2 going at it like hammer and tongs at their peak.
Yeah,
like that 7-6 World Championship at like Hampton Court must have just been unreal.
It's so big as well, that dead on, like, it must have just been peppered, absolutely peppered.
Both just serving railroads and then just either like eating the other guy's cut volley or wearing a force.
Yeah, it's quite a good way to play, to be fair.
That must have been absolutely unbelievable.
I think Rob's the best target hitter ever.
I would agree.
That 2018 World Championship, with all due respect, like, no one gave him a prayer, did they? Like, you look at what everyone was saying, and it's like he's basically won it because of the volume of targets he's hit, the sheer volume, and from the hazard end, that dead on. I mean, have we ever seen a performance like it, where literally someone has won just because they've hit more winners?
I mean, the thing is, like, that court is not very friendly to serve on, in that, like, it's very difficult to stop the ball from going deep enough to hit the back wall, right?
Agree.
And you can't really get it to cut down or spin back or do too much. But you've still got to get out there, and over 3 days, you've still got to get out there and hit the target. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you can have the opportunity presented to yourself a million times. Yeah. You've still got to hit it.
The thing is, which I find amazing about that World Championship is you can have one set where, like, I couldn't miss the grill there, I couldn't miss the dead on, and he won 7 of them. He won
Well, that was
7
what was just
sets.
unreal. Like, I remember on the third day, I was sat behind Claire, and Rob, he was hitting a few forces up and stuff, and Claire's obviously like right into it, and she just like, oh god, and then like, you know, the point was finished, she turned around to be like, oh god, it's gone, he just can't hit the dead on anymore. And I was like, Claire, what he's doing today is hitting the numbers that a normal human would hit.
Yeah, agree.
It looks like he's having a bad day, but it's not. It's fine. It's just the last 2 days have been absolutely obscene.
Yeah, agree. That's true. I think there is a human limit to how many forces you can literally get in as well, right?
Well, you just can't just keep smoking it in, can you?
No,
I mean,
it's impossible.
In theory, it goes back to the solo practicing. God, if you just get out there and just do baskets and baskets of hitting a target, when that option presents itself, you know, there's a reason why we're putting Rob as the best target hitter of all time.
Yeah.
You know, the guy camped out in the front garden of like the Bordeaux Tennis Club and got up and hit like 3 hours of targets every morning.
He wouldn't even have known about coronavirus. He'd have just been there hitting targets. What's going on, boys? Don't even know.
Hitting targets, drinking Coronas.
Yeah. He had the virus. Sorry, boys. Can't get hungover if you're never sober.
Exactly. We're both agreed then, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Rob Fay, targets.
It can only be one man, the great man. But I mean, Tim Chisholm needs a like monumental mention here.
Yeah,
like,
so
again,
true.
It's the same thing with the return to serve part of the cyborg.
Yeah.
Like we're choosing Rob, but like if somebody said you can't have Rob, I'd be like, okay, I'll have Tim, and I don't feel like the cyborg's any worse for that.
Give me Darren. We can work with it.
We can figure it out.
Yeah, we will. We'll just stop hitting targets as much. But there we go. So we've done 6 parts of the cyborg. Flipping heck. So where should we go next with it?
Well, it's the cyborg your thing, so I always let you go. So we've got serve, return, retrieve, forehand, backhand targets.
Let's go volley.
All right.
And I don't really know what more we can do after volley.
No, you can. There's a few attributes.
Tactics. Oh yeah, tactics and yeah. Right, perfect. We got loads. Oh, we got loads. We can do this forever.
There's so many attributes we can discuss.
Yeah, chat, boozing. There we go.
Remember this podcast here to stay. We can't wrap up the cyborg straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, next week we will do volley, the real tennis cyborg. But I hope the sound quality will be okay. We're on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please share on social media. I'll be doing so tonight. I've got a photo ready to go on Instagram.
Please like the videos as well, because
yeah, do it.
If we get like 50,000, we might get sponsors.
Oh my god, how good! Or if you do fancy sponsoring, let us know. Again, we'll be able to.
I'm always happy to read out an advert mid-podcast.
Oh, same. I'll slip it in. We could be here for a while, fellas. Not fellas, everyone, fellas and ladies. But yeah, we could be here for a while. Let's hope there's another edition coming soon. Stay safe, stay indoors. See you later.